Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Renton Reflects. If you haven't guessed by now, I have developed quite an interest in animated shows that feature anthropomorphic animals in them. That's not to say that I can't relate to human characters, it's just that sometimes anthropomorphic animals serve as a clever device to help carry certain messages across. This show is a fine example of that. On this show, there are two types of groups, one involving normal humans and the other known as beastmen, who are essentially humans who can take on the form of a specific anthropomorphic animal at will. A young human girl named Michiru suddenly becomes a beastman one day, more specifically a tanuki, and doesn't quite know why. To avoid the persecution of the beastmen-hating humans in her community, she decides to run away to a place called Anima City, which was recently established as a safe haven for all beastmen. While there, she tries to find answers as to why she became a beastman in the first place and to see if there's a way to cure herself of her beastman-itis, as she likes to call it. Along the way, she encounters a variety of characters and situations containing extra surprises, where she learns more about herself and discovers what it truly means to be a beastman. There isn't much I can say about the show without going into spoiler territory, other than it's quite good. It's got a solid premise, solid direction, interesting characters, stylized action and animation, and very nice underlying messages involving prejudice, human rights, and how human society functions. It's also rather creative and original in some of its world building. Sometimes I felt as though I were watching a Marvel comic book movie, which does add some extra intrigue to the show, especially with some of the exposition it gives out. And it's also fun to sometimes guess what some of the characters are up to. If I were to find any fault with this show, I thought there were a few moments that were a little bit out of place, and I didn't feel as though the show did anything too new in how it conveyed its underlying messages, even though the messages themselves are still good. It might not be a huge game changer in terms of significant innovations, but for what it is, it's still an entertaining show. Who knows? It might let out the inner beastman within you. If I were to rate the show on a scale between 1 and 10, I'd give it a 7.5. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.